I'm right here in beautiful Southern California, where the weather is a little bit gloomy, slight overcast, but still got some sun. You can see the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains from my location. Um, Basically, wanted to go live here to report from this area of the United States. Uh, just talk about life in general. Nothing more than that. Let you know how things are going. It's kind of tough, really tough. Really, really tough. It gets boring at times. Sometimes don't know what to do. I think what's keeping me going is just trying to stay busy, keep the mind going. But this is my view. I was a U.S. Army Infantryman about 15 years ago, and in comparison to this, a lot of similarities, but a lot of big differences too. Isolation factor is just way up there, but we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. I think well, let me just walk around. Let me show you a little of the stuff I'm doing just to keep my mind busy, because I don't want to bore you guys with my life stories. But and this is live. I'm not editing anything out. I'm just gonna speak what's on my mind. So when all this started happening, I think about, what was it? End of November, mid-December last year, something in my mind just clicked. Told me, hey, time to prepare. They started talking about Wuhan in the news and how they locked down the city of, I think it's about 11 million people. Something clicked in my mind, said, no, there's no way you can do that. There's no way you can do that and have it not affect the whole world. You can't just it just can't affect the whole world like that. It has to affect the whole world, because 11 million people is a lot. Something told me prepare. I know when we in the invasion of Baghdad, I know when we rushed up there. I mean, Baghdad's about a city of 8 million people. That's a hard ass city to lock down. So I knew right then and there it ain't gonna work. Whatever it is, this virus is gonna come streaming, or pushing right towards us. So I hit the stores. I start getting what I need for my family to survive. A considerable amount of time, not hoarding, but simply using, you know, just that right mindset to grab, the daily necessities. Another thing click too is food. If this thing blows out of proportion, how well, you know, me and my family are going to need to survive for a considerable amount of time. So my whole mindset changed about life. It's very stressful, different different type of stressful situation compared to the U.S. Army. I think the U.S. Army helped me prepare, just because the whole clicking in my mind kind of deal. But I think this is a step, past war, because when I look at it, or when I see it, everyone is at war now. We are fighting an invisible enemy that is relentless. So just tough, just tough. Yeah. So number one thing was just start preparing. Very stressful. Getting up early in the morning, moving constantly until I got to a point where I said, okay, now it's time to settle down. Let me use what I got to, you know, get ready for the long run. Let me walk around. It's a nice day, so did this a couple days ago. Built some potato trenches for myself and my family. Still, I got the potatoes inside, sitting in a dark corner, a cool area. Waiting, they're actually reset potatoes. I picked up almost about a month ago. Starting to grow eyes on them. Those eyes grow out a little bit more. I'm gonna bury them, throw some compost on top, see how they do. But I do got some other potatoes, some mini taters. They're called fingerling potatoes or something like that. You know, keep this in mind. I've never had a garden before in my life. Never ever had a garden before. But what a great time to start. This is gonna be my survival right here. So got a little gate here. So these dogs, I had to take a little bit of their area away, but these dogs should be fine. I got enough area. Uh, Something I heard, this is what I hear constantly all day long. I hear sirens all day long, non-stop. I'll quiet it a little bit. I don't know if you can hear them, but nothing but sirens, nothing but sirens. Every 5 minutes going off. So that just lets, and before, pre-coronavirus, I would maybe hear it once a day, but I am hearing like 50 different sets of sirens going off a day. It is crazy. Never heard it that way before. Although maybe I've never even paid attention, but it's very noticeable. Especially if, you got dogs around here just barking and barking and barking every time they hear sirens. But anyways, let me walk this way into the back. Got some things going. I got a potato bin here. I'm gonna drop some potatoes in. A little raised bed I built in a quick minute. Not too much to it. Got some herbs going there. It's been raining quite a bit lately, so it's been negatively affecting some of my plants here. The basil here. I got basil right here. Been raining so much. I think it developed some type of root rot or something like that. Like I said, I've never had a garden before, so if you can see down in there, down by the stems right here, started to turn brown. I'm thinking that's because of the amount of water we were getting over the last few days. Got some lettuce, romaine leaf lettuce. And in here, around the corners, I got some of those mini taters, fingerling potatoes, really small, really small. Let me dig one up. Let me show you what I'm working with here. I planted them about March 10th. It's about 14 days, so I can get one up. I put them in about 1 to 2 inches down in the soil. Let me check. Okay, I got one right here. Right here. Do I? Okay, here we go. Pretty deep. So here's one of them. Way down there. This one not too. Got to bury it so the stems are pointing up towards the sky. But let me get another one out here somewhere. I did recognize a few in here. I'm digging down in the hole right now. Let's see. It's crazy. Let me see. I think I was over here. Okay. Yeah, down in there. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, here we go right here. Here we go. So, after about 10 days of planting, you can see the stems growing out, you know, trying to push into maybe getting some new tubes. You know, this is a learning experience for me too. I had to figure out, you know, what these, you know, potatoes are called tubes. This is considered the mother tube because it's the first one that is planted. And these stems here are going to reach out into creating more tubes. So, yeah. So I'm going to drop that back in the hole. But you can see after 10 days, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. Bury that deep. I got another potato bin over here. Excuse the pool, it's kind of dirty. Not really a priority right now, but it is. It is. Don't get me wrong, it is. Well, actually, this is going to be beans and celery. I got the celery seedlings inside these pots here, these mini pots here. Still waiting for them to bloom. Nothing yet. You know, I got onions here. I'm recycling all my onions. So whatever we use in the house, I want to conserve everything I have. I drop these onions in, hovering up, you know, in some water in a cup. You know, you can see the roots here. You want to let those roots grow out really good. You can see the green vegetation coming out of the red onion there. And if you want to see what it looks like after a couple of weeks, this is it right here. I planted this green onion here about, today's the 24th. So I planted this green onion 14 days ago. So this is what it does in just 2 weeks time. Got some chili plants here, pepper plants. Over there, I am growing some of those mini taters vertically. So I don't know if you can see these pillars here. These pillars here, I'm gonna start stacking them as time goes on. When I start to see some of the stems protruding from the soil there, I'm gonna stack the pillars, throw more soil in, so they're gonna grow up. I can pull out, show you what they look like right now. I got about 3 or 4 of those mini taters in there. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull them out. So some of these, let's see. Just to give you guys, they're in there pretty deep. Let's see. Where we at? Okay, here we are. So you got a stem coming out there, an eye coming out there. It's nice and moist. Like I said, we've had a lot of rain lately, so I really haven't had to water these. But let's see. Where we at? So tough to find these sometimes. Let's see. Where we at? Huh. It's like kind of like Where's Waldo, right, with these potatoes. Oh, there we go. There we go. So there is another one. You know, these mother tubers. I thought this area would be. People have said that the vertical, um, growing potatoes vertically don't do as well as growing them like in a raised bed. But this is definitely going to be a first time experience for me. Right off the bat. You know, but when the time comes to, you know, you know, check that out. You hear them sirens all day long. Like I said, all day long. Um, Definitely lots of things going on around here. Thank you to our frontline medical personnel that are taking care of this. It's tough times, tough situation. But we will see how these do compared to, you know, the raised beds. So vertical, I got vertical ground potatoes. I got raised bed. I got in ground, and I got pots that are grown potatoes. So we will see how these all do in comparison. Which, scenario yields more in due time. Hey, girl. um, and then over here, well, let me show you the other area here. Got a couple tomato plants there. I buried those almost about 3 weeks ago. Slightly growing. Here we go. Here's that pot right there. Let's see how the one in the pot's doing. But there we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's actually doing better than the ones in the pillars right there. They are growing vertically. But wow, that's good. It's to my amazement. And I'll cover that bad boy up. It's pointing towards the sun. I always like to have it pointing towards the sunlight. Look at that, we got jets coming across the sky. But I'm gonna put this on its side, point it towards the sun so that it's always getting sunlight. That's the good thing about having them in pots, is that you can always arrange them. And point them directly towards the sun. So I'll put that there. Let's walk this way. Built this pond a few months ago, right before this coronavirus situation happened. Yeah, got about 10 goldfish in there. They really never see them, but they do like to show their faces once in a while. Anyways, and then I got some seedlings down here. I got some lettuce seedlings, some evergreen buncheon seedlings. I picked these seedlings up on Amazon. They were actually called survival seeds with a 20-year shelf life. But still yet to germinate. But we will see if they do. We'll see the effectiveness. Maybe it's just something I have to figure out. Like I said, I've never done this before. Not like your best top-notch gardener ever. Not even close. Not saying I am. But the things we got to do to survive. Just my infantryman mindset, I guess. Yeah, so again, a little windy here. This is what it's been like for the last month. looking south now into the Southern California sky. That's towards the west, towards Los Angeles. Everything's blooming. Totally different feeling from last year, this time of year. It's just crazy. It's just really. So yeah, so I guess once or twice a week I'll report, let you guys know how the situation is going down here. But definitely feels really isolating, a little depressing. The only time we do leave is to maybe get something to eat, meaning going to the grocery store or going to somewhere like Home Depot to pick up some type of cleaners or chemicals just to keep the home going. As far as everything else, I mean, there's people still walking the streets, families still keeping walking the streets, families walking their dogs, everyone's is keeping their distance. I don't see too many people violating the lockdown orders per se, but hey, life must go on. But I definitely do think it is good for people to practice safe distancing, because we're only going to get through this if everybody follows these rules. But I would say everybody just use this time to connect with each other, connect with your family if you got family living with you. Do things you've never done before, catch up on things. You'll be amazed on what you can do in a short time. You'll be amazed how powerful the mind is. It's just sad that something like this really has to push us to doing things that we've never done before. I mean, I've never done a garden. I was always into cars. Now I gotta, where's my car at? Out in the front. Yeah. So let me walk out to the front towards my garden. Push my flimsy little gate open. There it is right there. That's Mopar for life. That's my Scat Pack, my 2018 Scat Pack, sitting there, not being used, not being touched. Had it for about 2 years almost. Only 9K miles on it. So when the time comes, I'll be selling that thing. Top-notch shape, never had any problems at all. Besides the ones that are from the factory, but it's a good and the inside is immaculate. Seats are nice. No crinkles, no wrinkles, no tears, no rips, nothing. But yeah. It's kind of like this. It's been kind of like this all day long. well, all week long, all month long. Maybe let me. You can see you got snow on top of the San Gabriels. You got the San Bernardino mountain range off to the right. You got some jets flying by in the clouds off ahead. You got the choppers. So yeah, anybody got any questions? Just go ahead and ask me them. To all my vets out there, military veterans, hope you're being safe. Hope you're using the land to your advantage. St. Augustine looks good. Looks good. After this rain, St. Augustine loves rain, loves water. That's when it really starts to get going. Starts to sprawl out. Then stones start to rip across the ground. If you look at one of my other videos, um, this grass was just pretty much decimated for about a year. Then I went ahead and just threw down some steer manure about 2 springs ago, and then it just took off. It just took off. Came back in full force. You can catch that video or that timeline of that video in my video section. So don't hesitate to look at that. But yeah. So this is what life has come to. Life has come to a standstill, a halt. Pretty boring, you know. Even when you're staying busy, it gets boring because you're just like you're just itching to want to do something. The other day I just went and started, all this stuff here, all these branches were connected to that tree over there, right in front of that truck. And I went ahead and just start chopping them down, threw them over the fence, and I said, you know what? Because I like to work with wood sometimes, so got some tools. I got a Dremel. I got some other tools that I think I was just gonna make some canes or something out of them, just to help time fly by. Um, some other, some of the other ones I was gonna let dry out, burn them up when I wanted to start a fire, but yeah. So I think the key is just to keep your mind busy. Keep your mind busy. That way you don't have any mental setbacks. Because I already know that this moment in time, you know, feels like a time of war, but this moment in time is going to create a lot of PTSD for people. Lots of PTSD. And if it doesn't create a lot of PTSD for people, it's going to create a lot of financial setbacks, which it already is. A lot of people are going to be losing their homes, losing loved ones, losing a lot over this. So there's going to be a lot of depression going on. So just from what I've learned is just keep your mind busy. Try to stay positive. because it's tough. Even when you're staying positive, it's still tough. It's still freaking tough. Almost to the point it just hurts, man. You know, they say depression hurts. Yeah, depression does hurt. It's painful. It's a painful feeling. But like I said, find something you love to do. Like I started this garden not only because, um, or these, growing stuff, not only because, I want to stay alive, but mainly to have something to turn to when I was feeling down, out, you know. It's good to know that you have stuff to turn to like that, you know what I mean? When you're feeling that way, because these, although they're not humans, they still rely on you to live. You got to give them nutrients, you got to give them water. They want to grow. So if you do something like this, remember there's going to be, you're you're keeping something alive. Is what I'm trying to say. You're keeping something alive. To have something just rely on you. Say, hey, I need some water. It's a good feeling, as opposed to just sitting in the house and giving up. I'll leave. That's mine. Give me that juice. So, if you do something like this, just do it for that situation. Do it for that. Do it for that reason because you want to feel alive, and you want other things to feel alive, and for have something for you want things to depend on you, and you want responsibility. You know, you end up feeling like you have a purpose. Yeah. Because my mindset would be totally depressed if I didn't have anything to do right now. So I'm kind of like forcing myself to do stuff. But enough of that. Um, huh, look at that apple plant over there. Or it was an apple tree until my dog bit it in half. Um, Now it's just apple branches. Wow. So I guess once or twice a week, I just want to document, everything that's going on. Might as well use it to my advantage. Can't really talk about cars or anything right now because I'm not, we are all on lockdown, not going anywhere. Um, Although that's something I did love to do, but now no longer a priority. I guess it's more just real life in lockdown from a U.S. Army Infantryman's perspective. You know, feel like I'm living with the land like I used to. There he goes. Many times, many days I've slept in dirt. Now I'm using it to my advantage. But yeah, hopefully Everybody abides by the rules, and we start getting everything back to normal soon. It's hard to even think about it, but it's really tough. Even things get back together, like I said. If things get back together, a lot of people are gonna have PTSD. I mean, once you go like this, once you start wearing masks, gloves, and everything like that, and start, full battle rattle all out, in stores and everything like that, it's hard to go back because is this virus gonna be gone? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we all get infected by it at some point or another. Uh, and it doesn't go away until it just burns itself out, the herd effect. We just don't know. But like I said, if when it's all said and done, I don't think life is going to be the same. We are all going to be, who knows? I'm still going to be wearing a mask. You never know. You never know. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to keep my head up. I want you guys to keep your head up. I want you to keep yourself busy. I want you to communicate with family, talk to them, let them know, reinforce what's right and wrong. Um, Follow the damn rules. Follow the damn rules. Pay attention to our leaders, whether you like them or not. They are there for a purpose. And most likely they will be there in the end. And if they are not, then we're going to have a lot of searching to do. So, if we are going to use this time for anything, use it to take it seriously. Use it to take life seriously right now. Get things together. You know, find your inner self. Do things you've never done before. You know, when it comes to like, just it being you. Just like I said, find your inner self. A lot of us need it right now. We don't even know it. So, I'll see you guys in a couple days. This is my first like broadcast, but the main thing here is just to talk, speak. It's good to talk, let things off your shoulders, let people know how you feel. Because in a time like this, that's what's going to help us. It's going to help us through this. I already feel like 100 times better just sharing my story, even if it doesn't even make sense. Who cares? I needed to get off my shoulders because this isolation thing is just hella hard to deal with sometimes. So I'll talk to you guys later. Mopar for life. Saying be safe, follow the rules, and take care of your family. Peace out, guys.